In this course, the first really important step is to configure the UART interface for the data transmission. So as I explained you before, we have a bootloader, and from the host side, from the computer side, we will send the application binary file. And for an interface, we will use the UART interface. So in this chapter, we will work on configuring the UART interface, transmitting, receiving data, and achieving reliable data transmission. So for a while, you can completely forget about bootloader design and solely focus on the UART interface. So in this chapter, we will configure the UART interface. As I said, we will transmit, receive data, and in addition, I will introduce a Python script for sending and receiving the serial data. And I think this chapter could be really helpful for different kind of projects, because we will design a tool for sending, for transmitting data between the laptop and the microcontroller, which could be really helpful in many different cases. And for this chapter, I will use this article on my website, on my blog, and I will put the link in the description below, so it will be easier to follow. So let's get started. So the first thing, we need to create a new project in STM32 CubeIDE. Recently, ST Microelectronics separated STM32 CubeIDE and the CubeMix into separate tools. As a result, this has confused a lot of users, since most of the older tutorials, including this bootloader course, were made with the older unified version. The good news is that the workflow, the workaround is straightforward. First, install both tools. The links are in the description. Then launch STM32 CubeMix tool. Choose your board or microcontroller. Configure the settings, the peripheral settings using the graphical tool, and make sure that in project settings, STM32 CubeIDE is chosen as the toolchain IDE. Then press generate code, and when the prompt appears, it will launch the STM32 CubeIDE. Whenever you need to update the peripheral settings, go back to the CubeMix, make your changes, then generate the code. Follow this process throughout the course to avoid any issues. But if you're still facing the problem, I have a separate video on my channel that explains thoroughly all these steps. If that doesn't help, you can leave your questions in the comments below. So the first thing, let me create a new project. So in this tutorial, I will use a Nucleo L476 microcontroller board. And being honest, it doesn't matter much which microcontroller board you're exactly using, because all the steps, like 90, let's say 9% would be same no matter which microcontroller you're using. And the rest 1%, let's say, if you have some differences and if you have any problems, you can leave your comments in the description below, so we can talk and try to solve your problem. But I'm pretty sure that you won't have any problem even if you use a different microcontroller board. So let me start, and I would call it STM32 Custom Bootloader. Finish. No. Yes. So here, just over here, I have the graphical representation of the microcontroller. So first we go to connectivity and we go to We go to UART 2. So here I will enable it by choosing the asynchronous mode. Why asynchronous? Because we don't need the clock line. We will have just RX, ticks, classical UART interface. And the baud rate, word length, I think everything would be default values. The only thing to check is the clock. So I have the maximum 80 megahertz, which is preferable to reach higher speed. But if you, in your case, have lower, let's say, clock frequency, then the maximum value, you can just tune these values to get the maximum one. So I have 18 megahertz. We have the default parameters. The only thing we need to do is to enable the DMA. If you don't know what DMA is, I will put the link in the description for the YouTube tutorial on my channel. But to describe it briefly, it's a tool for the data transfer without using the CPU. So when you want to transfer data from peripheral to the buffer to some memory space, or from memory to peripheral, we can use the DMA so CPU can do other tasks. So this is for the optimization, for using the CPU time wisely. So here I have RX. I will also add a TX mode. The rest I will keep it as it is, and also I will enable the interrupts. So this is again just to use the CPU time wisely, efficiently. So this is all the configuration of the UART. So I can save the file to generate the code. So we can press Ctrl S, or you can press this tool code generation button basically. So the code generation is over and we are ready to start coding. But at this point, I want to explain one more thing. Want the full STM32 Bootloader course? Visit stepschool.com today. The link in the description. Now back to our lesson. So as you see, we configured UART 2, but not UART 1 or UART 3. The thing is that when we have the UART interface, when we configure the UART interface, our main objective is to establish data transmission between the laptop and our microcontroller. But the problem is that our laptop, like modern computers, do not have the UART interface. It has USB, it might have Ethernet, let's say wireless some interfaces, but there is no UART. So what it basically means is that to establish the communication between the laptop and the microcontroller through UART interface, we need a special hardware, USB to serial converter. So when you send the data through USB, via USB on your laptop, the USB data packets will be converted to UART compatible data because of this special hardware, USB to serial converter. And they usually suggest a small USB dongle. So what it basically means is that for UART, we need this USB to serial converter. But the great thing about STM32 microcontroller boards is that we have the ST-Link. So by ST-Link, I mean the debugger of the microcontroller board. So this is the microcontroller and this is the ST-Link basically. And we have already this USB to serial converter embedded to the ST-Link. So we don't need this special hardware to use the UART for the data transmission. And usually this embedded serial converter is connected to the UART2 of the microcontroller. So it is same for most of the STM32 microcontroller boards, and I'm pretty sure that your microcontroller has also the same functionality, the same feature. If not, if you have any issues, again, don't worry, because you can share the microcontroller board name you're using, and I will try to help you to set it up. So I will use UART2. So next thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send data from the microcontroller to the laptop. So for that, I will use this piece of code. So first of all, I will just create one message. Let's say just do it. Okay. Then I go to while loop. So I'll just copy this line of code and I will paste just over here. Nothing special. So every second I'm transmitting the data. And here I'm using DMA. So basically what we do, we define the buffer pointer, how many bytes we want to set, and the DMA will handle the data transmission. CPU doesn't need to do anything, so CPU can switch to do other tasks. So that's why it is really useful to use the DMA. So that's it, and I've already connected my microcontroller board, and I'm going to debug. So there is nothing much to say, we can just press OK. So I'm in the debugger perspective. Next thing, we need to read this data from the computer side, from the host side. So for that purpose, I will use the software called PuTTY, and there are a lot of similar tools for Mac, for Linux, for Windows, and I'll put some names. I will put some links in the description as well. So we'll use this PuTTY software. So this software allows us to read and send data through the serial interface. So here we have the speed 115/200, which we set in the configuration. Within the IOC file, we have the serial, and this is the serial line. To get this number, I use the device manager. So within the device manager, as you see, I just open comport, and here I have comport com13. And I think in Macs and Linux, there's similar methods to find this comport name. And within the terminal, I set force on, and I have these configurations. So just open it. So I have this PuTTY terminal, and let me resume the code. So meaning that every 1 second, we will transmit this just do it like text. And if I check the PuTTY terminal, you can see that I'm receiving this message. Just do it, just do it, just do it. Meaning that everything is working. So we configured the UART, we established connection between the microcontroller and our computer. So next we will move to the Python script. So instead of using this kind of tool software, we will write our own Python script for transmitting and receiving the data. So let's do it in the next lesson.